Well, hello again from the TSIM channel. We're very pleased to have Emily Sederstrom with us today to speak more about TSIM. She is one of the alumni of the TSIM education program, and we're delighted to have her join us today. Emily, tell us a
Thank
bit about
you.
yourself.
Yes. I am Emily Sederstrom. I am the Administrative Director for Digital Health at OU Health here in Oklahoma. My team, I've built out a team and we develop a variety of different telehealth programs. Before I joined the OU Health team, I actually started my career at MUSC, and I spent many years in the Center for Telehealth where TSIM was created.
Well, you've stolen my thunder there because I was going to ask, how did you know about TSIM? But you've told us that you were at MUSC, and that's a fantastic start. But now that you moved to somewhere else, it almost feels that you're taking a TSIM into a new area. What's that been
Yeah.
like for you?
It's been really great, except, I will even caveat, I joined OU Health March 2020. So I started at a really interesting time, but thank goodness I had the TSIM framework in my pocket and ready to start implementing it here. I came from, again, MUSC, where I learned all the best practices. We had the foundation of how to build any type of telehealth program using the TSIM framework. So when I joined OU in a very interesting time, I knew exactly which stakeholders to start working with to design look at the strategy, design our programs, and start implementing, because things had to happen very quickly in COVID, as we all know, and telehealth was essential at that time. So absolutely bringing it to OU was the first focus of mine starting this job.
Now, for those not familiar with TSIM just yet, and maybe you've not quite done the course, you'll notice that Emily's used some specific language there that relates back to the framework itself. So the telehealth framework was really quite valuable for you when you did that transition. And what a time to be applying that knowledge. Um, so tell me, what were the benefits of sort of applying it? You've alluded to the sort of stages that you went through, but what were the benefits that you found personally for applying TSIM?
Yeah, so my benefits, so again, really starting at the pipeline, what programs did our health system have as an interest? And being able to vet those and ask those tough questions of why we are doing this, what problems are we trying to solve, and then moving into the strategy, and again, developing that scope, identifying what potentially could and would happen, and then going into the design phase where we're actually building the programs, and then transitioning into the implementation and the training. All of those foundational pieces of the framework helps me in getting confidence in what we are actually delivering to our end users. So I knew we had a clinical champion. I knew that we followed the framework. And so when we go live, we have the confidence that we have delivered an excellent program. For me, that has been incredible, because the first program that came out of my time at OU Health was our telestroke program. And it was a long journey, but a very TSIM focused development process. And the one personal story, if I can share, is we did our pre-go live check, which is an essential step in the transition phase. And we had all check marks. Everything was good to go. Everyone was excited. Go live was going to be the next day. And at that particular day, I go into labor. So I am, of course, thrilled about our telestroke program, but immediate focus had to go onto having a baby, which, of course, our go live date for telestroke was my son's birthday. And so looking back, I just have so much appreciation for the TSIM framework, because I had the confidence that my team knew every step that needed to be taken post go live. They had their debriefs scheduled. They had a strong relationship with our spoke site. And I no longer had to focus my energy and time during my maternity leave on making sure the telestrict program was successful, because again, that confidence of the framework, the confidence in my team was just invaluable.
Thank you for that personal story. That is remarkable. You know, there are so many things that can happen during the course of work. Somebody can take ill, there can be a family emergency, you could have changes within the business, and having that confidence, like you say, knowing where everything was, made the world a difference. Thank you for sharing that, because I'm sure many other people will appreciate the value of having a standardized approach where everybody's on the same page.
Absolutely, absolutely. It also creates just a resilient program too. Whatever is thrown at it, we've addressed it. So it definitely is pairs nicely for
Yeah.
anything that life brings you.
Oh, that sounds brilliant. I'm pleased to see that TSIM has had that far-reaching benefit. So, the challenges and opportunities that exist in telehealth today, you do wonder now that, okay, COVID is now part of our daily life. We have other things that are happening. Where is telehealth now? What are the challenges and what are the opportunities?
Yeah, I think we're finally at a stage where we are looking at everything that happened in the past 3 years with COVID, and now how do we stabilize and or grow, depending on where you are in your telehealth journey. For us, and I think I've seen this in the industry as a whole, we were thrown into departments of one, where there was one person identified. You are the sole telehealth person, now build all of these things, and that's daunting. And um a lot of folks who were thrown in with no telehealth experience probably really struggled finding what is the next step. How do you build this program? Who do I work with? And for me, how I navigated that, because I did join as a department of one, and I've had to build a digital health team. TSIM helps with that. TSIM helps identify which stakeholders you need to work with internally as well as externally, if you are building a program that is actually helping in the community outside of your health system. But it also helps you identify those who need to be on your just skill sets that your core team may need to have, but maybe it's not an actual person's sole responsibility. And so I think for a lot of those in the industry right now, if you have at least a core team, or if you're a department of one, what additional skill sets you should be encouraging your team to start acquiring, because then you're really setting yourself for growth, and being able to expand what your team can do. So yeah, I think that's one challenge a lot of folks are facing right now is, how do I go beyond that department of one? And it does it need to grow to a department of many, or have which critical stakeholders you just need to build a really strong relationship with moving forward?
Yes, I do think you're quite right. A lot of the conversations we've had as part of the series talks about scaling, and I think scaling is going to be continue to be one of the issues. Um, okay, so you're at this point, you're being interviewed on the TSIM channel because you're one of the alumni. So why did you choose to sit the certification? What value did you find in sitting that?
Yeah, so for the value of the certification, the TSIM certification really helps demonstrate my commitment to following the process. It highlights that I have a deep understanding on how to design and implement a telehealth program. Um, and then for those who work with my digital health team, the certification helps those end users know exactly what they will get from us. We will deliver excellence because we use the TSIM framework. It ensures that we address every critical step of the development process, or if we're expanding our telehealth program. So for that, it absolutely the certification is just again invaluable.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad that you're finding that value in it. It was a pleasure in creating the course from our end. You know, we're as the official publisher for TSIM. It's great having that feedback.
Well, and just going through it myself, I can just say it's fantastic content. Regardless of your experience, I learned something new myself. And I think anyone who thinks in the industry that they, um, oh, I know how to develop a telehealth program, I still really encourage those to take the course, because I absolutely believe they'll gain some new skills or different perspective that they could immediately put into practice with their teams.
Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you for that endorsement. It's a pleasure to have. Um, what advice do you have, parting words? What advice do you have for anybody who's entering telehealth or working in telehealth?
Yes. So for me, my advice is to fully embrace the standardized approach. We will always have stakeholders who want an exception. They want to cut corners because they want the program quickly and fast. And for me, I just really encourage going back to your foundation, going back to the standardized approach, because that if you deliver a quality program, one that did not cut corners, it's going to positively impact our patients, and patients should be first. And so again, you will always get folks who want you to move faster than it should actually be moving. And just go back to your core standardized approach, and you will deliver quality project programs that impact our patients positively.
It's really reassuring to hear that things that are created for patients are built in a way that's standard, repeatable, safe. So
Yes.
you've been an absolute pleasure to have with us today, and I hope to hear more about you as you go through your career. So thank you very much for joining us, and keep following the TSIM channel. Bye, everyone.
Fantastic. Thank you.